Good afternoon, friends. Uh, Today in this scenario, there are lots of students who thinks that LRDI section is one of the easiest section, and they don't spend a lot of time on this section. They take LRDI section very lightly, and they don't spend that much amount of time that it should be spent on LRDI section. Probably they spend more time on quant and VARC section, thinking that QA and VARC section are the most difficult sections to crack in CAT, and LRDI can be managed very easily. Now, friends, this is a myth if you are among those students who thinks that LRDI section is the easiest section in CAT. So, friends, I'm Gourav Gupta, and I welcome all of you to the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep, where in this session I will not tell you how to solve the questions of LRDI, but I'll be giving you a strategy, a step-by-step approach using which you will be able to solve maximum number of questions in LRDI section of CAT, and thereby you can manage scoring 99 plus percentile in specifically LRDI section of CAT. Now, friends, basically the approach, the step-by-step approach that I'm talking about, this particular approach has worked over the previous years if I talk about. So this particular approach has worked for majority of the students. Why I'm saying majority of the students it has worked for? Because majority of us students are average or below average when it comes to this particular subject. Okay, I'm not talking about those who are already gifted, those who understand calculations, those who can do perform calculations in a much faster way, those who have all their logics in place. I'm not talking about those coveted people, but I'm talking about people who are average or below average, who were like me when I was a student, specifically in DILR section. So I'm talking about majority of the people, and this particular approach has worked over the past, like I've been teaching since last 14 to 15 years, and this particular approach, yes, it has worked for majority of people, and it will definitely work for you. You will be definitely able to score 99 plus percentile if you will also follow this step by step approach and don't just jump and start solving the questions which comes in CAT. Okay, so basically I'm talking about this step by step approach that will be helpful for all of you in case you will follow it. Now, my dear friends, those who are there in this session, quickly write yes in the chat box. Quickly give me an acknowledgement that you all are listening to me so that we can take this session ahead. Come on. So I'm waiting for all of you. Those who are already there in this session, please write anything in the chat box. All right. So Yash, Roosters, Ravi Yadav, Spark Thug Life. All right. So people are there in this session. I welcome all of you. So friends, let's start this session. Let's get into this session and understand like the easier way, the easiest approach of scoring 99 plus percentile. Now, I'll not give you any trick and techniques. I'll not give you any magician's way of scoring 99 plus percentile. So let's begin with this session. First of all, with the agenda of this session. All right. Now, to start with, I'll be talking about how LRDI section has behaved over the past few years, over the past 4 to 5 years. Basically, talking about the pattern in which LRDI section has been asked, the type of questions, and the score versus percentile for this particular section. Now, moving ahead, I'll be talking about some of the important areas that we must start focusing as far as LRDI section is concerned. And then the most important thing, I'll be telling you the step-by-step approach towards scoring 99 plus percentile in this section. All right. So let's understand how LRDI has behaved over the past few years. Now I'll be taking the data for the last 5 years, starting from probably 2017. So if I talk about CAT 2017, CAT 2018, and CAT 2019, the pattern of these three cats was exactly same. Now talking about LRDS section, so yes, there were 32 questions in LRDS section, out of which 24 questions were MCQs and 8 questions were TETA. So if you understand what are TETA questions, right? So theta questions जिसमें हमें आंसर टाइप इन करना होता है. Okay, so this is the type of questions. The marks allocated for each question was +3 and there was a -1 for the questions in case we mark a wrong answer, especially for MCQs. So there was no negative marking for theta type questions and the time given was 60 minutes. But after 2019, what happened? COVID hit the entire world and our nation as well. So basically, to make way for one more slot in CAT authorities have to reduce the duration of CAT. So earlier, when the entire CAT was of 180 minutes, now in 2020 the CAT happened for only 120 minutes, and the time allocated for LRDI section was 40. Now, since the time was reduced, so we saw the reduction in number of questions as well. So the number of questions reduced from 32 to 24. So now in 2020, there were 24 questions and the number of MCQs was 18 and number of theta questions was 6. The marking scheme was absolutely same, +3 for correct and -1 for wrong answer in case of MCQs. Now in CAT 2020 or after CAT 2020, I believe CAT authorities thought that students were not able to attempt a particular number of questions or enough number of questions in 40 minutes. So before CAT 2021, we heard from the chancellor of IIM Ahmedabad that we can expect a reduction in number of questions in CAT 2021, and yes, it did happen. Now in 2021, the number of questions reduced to 20. So earlier it was 24, and now this time it was 20, and the time limit was absolutely the same. So in CAT 2021, we had to attempt 20 questions in 40 minutes. Number of MCQs was 14 and number of theta was 6. And the marking scheme, again, it remains same, +3 and -1. So this is how the pattern of CAT, or I can say the pattern of LRDI, has changed over the previous year. Now, if I talk about the coming year, I am expecting, though it is too early to talk about this, but I can say that I'm expecting a similar pattern as far as CAT 2022 is concerned. So the time limit will be 40 minutes for each section and the number of questions in LRDI section may be 20. Now, the most important fact is the breakup of these questions. So since we are talking about LR and DI, logical reasoning as well as data interpretation, so it is very important to understand the breakup of logical reasoning and data interpretation questions so that we can basically plan our studies in a particular direction. So let's talk about that. Now, Roosters, you are saying that, sir, CET ka bhi cover kar lena. Now, Roosters, I'll be talking in general. Okay, basically I'll not be solving any questions, but in case, Roosters, in case you want something on MHCT, okay, and any of the students who want something on MHCT specifically about data interpretation, so I must tell you that please download BYJU'S exam prep app. हमारी app download करो, and every Tuesday you will find me taking the session on data interpretation. So it is a session on data interpretation, especially on data interpretation, which I take every Tuesday. Okay, so it's called Tuesday's DI mantra that I take every Tuesday. And last Tuesday, I've started a series of sessions specifically for data interpretation of MHCT examination. So those who are looking, please download the application of BYJU'S exam prep and you will be able to attend these sessions that I'm talking about free. So these all sessions are free of cost. All right. Now let's continue this session. Now let's talk about the breakup of LR and DI questions because it is very important to understand in which direction we'll put more efforts. All right. Now talking about 2017, out of 32 questions, these 32 questions were equally divided in DI and LR. Okay, so there were 4 sets of 4 questions each on each of data interpretation and logical reasonings. So 16 question and 16 question each on data interpretation and logical reasoning, right? So this was the case for 2017. But the pattern drifted towards, or number of questions drifted towards logical reasoning in the next year. So out of 32, only 12 questions 4 plus 4 plus 4. So 3 sets of 4 questions each came on data interpretation, and 5 sets of 4 questions each, that is 20 questions, came from logical reasoning. The trend kept on shifting towards logical reasoning again in the next year. So in 2019, out of 32 questions, there were only 2 sets of 4 questions each. That is only 8 questions in data interpretation, and humongous number of questions, 24 questions. There were 6 sets of 4 questions each on logical reasoning. Now it kept on shifting again towards logical reasoning. So in 2020, we saw the reduction in number of questions. So there were 24 questions and there was only one data interpretation set, and remaining 20 questions were on logical reasoning. Now in 2021, they could not reduce the number of questions of data interpretation further. So number of questions of data interpretation remained the same, 4 questions, and there were 16 questions, 6 plus 6 plus 4. So there were 2 sets of 6 questions and there was 1 set of 4 questions on logical reasoning in CAT 2021. Okay, so we can say that the LRDI section of CAT is less of calculations and more of logic. Also, you will find that in this one particular set of data interpretation that came in CAT, so it was also not a very calculative set. बहुत ज़्यादा calculations involved नहीं थी. So if you are practicing your calculations properly from the beginning, you are understanding the concepts of percentages, you are understanding the concept of ratios properly, then it will not be very difficult for you to handle the amount of calculation that comes in data interpretation of CAT. Okay, now it's more of logic, less of calculation. It's less of calculation. I'm not saying zero calculation. So still you will have to focus, you will have to concentrate when it comes to the data interpretation, when it comes to the calculative part of data interpretation in CAT. Also, understanding these calculations, practicing these calculations, increasing your speed towards these calculations will not only help you in CAT, but will also help you in other examinations, specifically like the examination of IAFT, ZAT, or Symbiosis, Narsi Munji. So in these examinations, you will find good amount of sets that comes on data interpretation. All right. Okay. So this was about the breakup of DI and LR questions. Now let's talk about how much do I need to score in order to gain or in order to get 90 plus percentile. Okay. So I have also done an analysis in which you will understand at what score we can get 90 percentile. 90 percentile is sufficient to clear the sectional cutoffs of the top colleges. I'm talking about IIMs, I'm talking about FMS, right? So I'm talking about top colleges. So 90 percentile, sectional cutoff of 90 percentile is there in every college or in every top college. So if you are above 90 percentile in this particular section, that means your sectional cutoff has been taken care of. Now, those who are more hungry and they want to score 95 plus percentile or 99 plus percentile, so they'll have to put in some more efforts in this particular section. All right. So let's talk about the score versus percentile over the past 5 years. So in 2017, out of 96 marks in total, out of 96, so yes, there were 32 questions, 32 into 3 is 96. So out of 96, a student who has scored just 28 marks out of 32 questions, if effectively you have solved 8 or 9 questions correctly. So 9 questions correctly solved, 9 into 3, 27. So you are very much near to this 90 percentile mark. Okay. Or if out of 32, you have effectively made 10 correct, then yes, you have easily crossed this 90 percentile mark in CAT 2017. All right. To score 99 percentile, it's just a matter of 15 questions in 1 hour. Yes, 60 minutes में मुझे सिर्फ 15 questions effectively correct करने हैं and I'll be sitting on 99 percentile. Understand this thing. All right. Okay. Now, if I'll move further to the next year, CAT 2018. So the cutoffs were they were approximately the same as that of the last year. So out of 96 marks, if a person has scored 27 marks, he will get 90 plus percentile. At 34, we are getting 95, and at 44 marks, we are getting 99 percentile. So I can say that this happened because the level of difficulty of CAT 2017 and CAT 2018 LRDI section more or less were same. So Yash, hello, how are you? Okay, now talking about CAT 2019, when the level of difficulty in LRDI reduced a little bit. Okay, so the level of difficulty has fallen a little bit in CAT 2019. So the cutoffs increased. So at 32, so effectively 11 correct, 11 questions correct, you are scoring 33 marks. So you are well above 90 percentile in LRDI section. Okay, if you have attempted 13 questions correctly, effectively correct, you will be able to fetch 95 percentile, or at 18 effective corrects, I am standing at 99 percentile in LRDI section of CAT. All right. Now going further in 2022, it was out of 24 questions. So number of questions was reduced. So out of 72 marks, yes, out of 72 marks, understand this thing. If you have attempted 7 questions correctly, you are 90 plus percentile. 8 to 9 questions correctly, you are at 95 percentile. And 11 to 12 questions correctly, you are at 99 percentile. So yes, friends, 11 to 12 questions correctly in CAT 2022, that means 3 sets of 4 questions each. So 3 set अगर मैंने effectively correct attempt कर दिए, I will be at 99 percentile, and it's not difficult at all. Right now I'm saying it's not difficult, but yes, friends, it is difficult if you'll not study, if you'll not practice. Okay, so study as well as practice, these two are the most important factors that will take you to this 99 percentile. If you are studying only and you're not practicing, you're not putting your efforts towards practicing, then it will be the waste of efforts. Okay, now finally talking about CAT 2021. So I can say that the level of difficulty increased a little bit, and that resulted in the fall of the cutoffs. All right, so when there were 20 questions, 6 correct, effectively 6 correct out of 20 questions. So अगर मैंने एक 6 questions का set, so there were 4 sets, there were 2 sets of 6 questions each, and there were 2 sets of 4 questions each. So this is how the pattern of LRDI was in 2021. So in this examination, if you have attempted one complete set of 6 questions correctly, job is done. Your percentile is above 90 percentile in CAT 2021. Okay, in case you are able to manage 2 sets completely, then you are way above 99 percentile. So 4 में से 2 set अगर कर दिए हमने 40 minutes में, 40 minutes में 2 set करना, it's not a difficult task. And yes, this is a reality. So person who has scored 26 marks in CAT 2021 in LRDI section has scored 99 percentile in LRDI section. So friends, this is about score versus percentile. So these score versus percentile mapping will definitely give you the level of difficulty that is there in front of us for the next few months to cover. All right, now let's go further and talk about some of the important areas we need to focus in data interpretation as well as logical reasoning. Okay, now whenever you are starting your preparation for data interpretation, obviously you must start from the very basics. And it's not just for data interpretation, it is true for every topic. Okay, so it is not suggested to directly jump to the level of difficulty that comes in CAT. So first of all, we need to make the foundation, and then we'll start laying up bricks one by one. All right, so in data interpretation, these are some areas that are written in front of you that you need to start focusing on, and you need to increase the level of difficulty gradually. So these are the type of questions or areas that you will find in reasoning as well as data interpretation. All right, so this is the list, and you can fetch this list from anywhere. I'll not be discussing this list in detail. Now let's come to the point and let's talk about what we are here for. Now let's talk about the step-by-step approach in order to score good. I'll not say 99 percentile, but I'll say in order to score good marks in LRDI section of CAT 2022, right? Now friends, this step-by-step approach is very simple. Okay, now I'll say that if you are weak in LRDI and you are taking advice, so generally we tend to take advice. We have lots of students around us. We have lots of friends around us who are preparing for CAT. And among all these people, I am the person, let's say, who is weak in LRDI or who is weak in anything. Now, there is a friend of mine who is very strong in, let's say, LRDS section. He has been taking the test series. He has already started taking the test series and he's scoring wonderfully in LRDS section. So I went to this friend. So I'm just telling you a story. So I went to this friend for a piece of advice and his friend ne suggest kiya ki bhai, now it's the right time, start taking up difficult questions, then only you will be able to solve these questions in CAT. Please don't take advice from such people. Don't take advice from anyone who don't have good experience of CAT. Okay, your friend would have taken CAT once, probably the last year, दो बार दिया होगा, तीन बार दिया होगा. Friends, I have taken CAT every year starting from 2006. Yes, so 2006 was my first CAT, and I've been writing, because I'm in this profession starting from 2007, and I've been writing CAT every year since then. So I can say that I have plenty of experience as far as CAT is concerned. And since 2007, I am teaching students like you. I've been mentoring students like you. So I feel that I have, if not mastered, I have understood what it takes to score good in this particular examination. Okay, so my point is, do not listen to those people who will tell you directly to go to the test series level. Okay, if they don't understand your I'll say your competence level. Okay, so if you are an average or below average student, then you need to follow this particular approach. So the approach that I'm going to tell will definitely help you, all the students who are in majority, all the students who are average or below average in this particular subject. Also, it may help all the students who are like good in maths. Okay, now there is no harm in taking up step-by-step approach. So if you are already good in LRDI, if you're already good in quant, or if you are already good in any of these subjects, doesn't matter it comes in CAT or not, it is very important to keep practicing. Otherwise, that particular subject will become your weak point. All right. So let's understand what this step-by-step approach is. So step number one, focus on basics. Now, I'll also be giving you the timeline that you need to follow. It is not at all difficult. Okay, I'll not be wasting your time. I understand the CAT examination will be in the month of November. So what I have done is I have started from the month of CAT and I have backtracked to the month of April, in which I am conducting this live session. Okay, so right now we are sitting in April. So we have plenty of time in which we can manage scoring 99 percentile in this examination. So let's listen to this approach carefully, okay, and try to follow this. So step number one is follow the basics, focus on basics, and you can do this for the next 30 to 35 days. So we are sitting in the month of April. So a few days of April are left, 20 days of April are left, and 10-15 days of May. So in the month of April and May, you can start focusing on your basics. Now, what does basics means? Point number one, improve your calculation speed and accuracy. Now, I can say that this particular exam is about data interpretation as well. Now, if your calculations are not up to the mark, if you are not able to multiply two numbers very quickly, let's say any two-digit number or any single-digit number, or you're not able to perform the percentage calculations in a faster way, then you'll be ending up wasting the time. Yes, calculator is given to us, but it takes time, my dear friends. It takes time to open the calculator, click, 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 click करना होता है. So if I'll ask you 12% of 280, 12% of 280 इस टाइप की कैलकुलेशन अगर आप कैलकुलेटर से कर रहे हो तो shame on you. You'll be wasting a lot of time. So 12% of 280 ये हमें orally करना पड़ेगा, right? So it should be 28 is 10% plus 5.6, so 33.6 orally. अगर हम इतना हम कैलकुलेटर में करते तो हमें 5 to 6 seconds लगता. Orally हमने किया 2 seconds में हो जाएगा ये कैलकुलेशन, right? So try to find some techniques try to get into the basics of percentage calculations, try to speeden up your calculations. All right. Also focus on, like, apart from percentages, also try to remember, also try to learn squares and cubes of some numbers. It will definitely help you. All right. So first step is improvement of my calculation speed as well as accuracy. All right. So right now, don't think about speed. Just keep practicing and focus on accuracy, and speed will gradually build. Okay. So the first thing that you need to take care is the accuracy. And if you keep on practicing, your speed will keep building up. Next important thing is learn approximation techniques. Okay, so there are plenty of questions in which if you'll apply some approximation techniques, if you don't calculate the exact answer, then it will save your time. So try and learn those techniques. Now next is practice basic data interpretation sets. So abhi it is not required to directly jump to the level of difficulty which comes in CAT or IFT. You can start from very basic sets. You can start from tables or bar graphs or line graphs. Okay, but start from very basic sets in case you are below average in this particular section. Okay, now don't feel that you will be left behind the rest of the people. Okay, don't think even this particular thing. All right, so start from very scratch, start building up your basics, but you have to be very regular in your studies. You have to be very regular when you are practicing these things. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है कि आज 2-3 सेट कर लिए जोश में आके प्रैक्टिस, फिर 15 दिन तक भूल गए एंड 15 दिन बाद फिर उठाया. No, you have to be very regular as far as all these things are concerned. All right. Okay, so practicing basic DI sets should be started from now onwards. Okay, now if I talk about logical reasoning, so understand the basic topics of logical reasoning. Directly cat level questions पे jump नहीं करना. So basic topics कौन-कौन से होने चाहिए? Blood relations, okay, direction senses, then it should be arrangements and groupings, then it should be the basics of clocks and calendars and cubes, and then you can go to the basic questions, the basic level of questions of Venn diagrams, in which you can start practicing questions on 2 set and 3 set Venn diagrams. Okay, so 2 set से start करो, बहुत basic होता है, understand करो कि 2 set Venn diagram क्या होता है, then move on to 3 set Venn diagram gradually, and just build a mastery on 2 set and 3 set basic level Venn diagram questions. All right, so this is the first step, and you should be over with the first step up till 10th of May or maximum mid of May, 15th of May. So 15th May तक अपने basics पे work करना है, and then you can move on to the step 2, which is working on the applications. So whatever we have learned in step 1, whatever we have learned in the last 1 month, April and May, now it's time to apply all those things in the month of May and June. So starting from mid of May, you can start the application of all these things. So let's say you have learned 2 set and 3 set Venn diagrams. So now switch on to 4 set Venn diagrams, switch on to applications of 2 set and 3 set Venn diagrams in the maxima minima type questions. Okay, you have learned calculation techniques, right? So try to apply all those calculation techniques that you have learned in percentages in the questions of pie charts and Venn diagrams. बहुत ज़्यादा help मिलेगी. Okay, so now you need to practice higher level of data interpretation sets. Right? अभी तक हमने basic level के practice किए थे. So higher level means like higher than the previous level. ऐसा नहीं है कि highest level पे पहुंच जाओ directly. Okay, so whatever type of sets you have practiced up till now you can increase the level of difficulty to one further step. All right. Next is जो भी अभी तक कैलकुलेशन टेक्निक्स प्रैक्टिस की है, लर्न किया है, उनको रिवाइज करते रहो. ओके, ऑल्सो प्रैक्टिस दी हायर कंसेप्ट्स एंड लेवल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी इन LR सेट्स. सो दीज कैन बी सम पजल्स which will involve the combination of arrangements and groupings, right? Now Venn diagrams, like I mentioned, 4 set Venn diagrams, maxima minima in Venn diagrams, games and tournaments is one another very important thing. All right, so these are the things that you need to do in this step 2, raising the level of difficulty another level. All right, now step 3 will be start testing yourself. So अभी तक हमने जून तक टेस्टिंग नहीं की है अपनी. All right. So last step was May, June. We did not test ourselves. Now July, August is the month when you can start testing yourself. अब testing भी directly ऐसा नहीं है that you will have to enter the mock test series. Okay. So you can join any of the comprehensive test series. Let's say like we have a comprehensive test series where we directly don't start the test series, but will offer you some basic level test, then some higher level test. So basic है पहले, intermediate है, then advanced है, then there are some practice tests, there are some sectional tests. So go for practice test, basic, intermediate and advanced level. Okay, gradually increase the level. Do the proper analysis and identify your mistakes. Now, as soon as you enter testing, analysis is the most important part. Otherwise, improvement will not come. Okay, so testing के बाद analysis आनी चाहिए, improvement will automatically come, right? So if you are not identifying your mistakes, then you will not be able to rectify your mistakes. So analysis के time पे important ये है कि अपनी mistakes को identify करो and try to improve in the next test. All right. Now moving on to the final step, step number 4. Now step number 4 is not different from step number 3, but it will take you towards one level closer to the CAT. So it is now entering into the actual mock test series. So actual mock test series, again, I'm repeating, if you are average or below average student, then it is not advisable to enter the test series before August. So August, September, October, and minimum half of November. You will be having 3.5 months, and that is enough time for mock test papers. All right. So starting from the month of August, now it is time to start taking sectional tests first of all. Okay. And then once sectional tests are over, pick up any wonderful mock test series and start taking these mocks. Now, like I said, that step number 4 and step number 3 are actually same. So after every sectional test, after every mock test, do a proper analysis of that particular test, pick up your mistakes, find out which are the areas in which you are committing the mistakes, what are the silly errors that you are committing, and then try to improve in the next test. So friends, if you are following this particular approach, then definitely you will be able to get 99 plus percentile or whatever score you desire in LRDS section of CAT. Now this particular approach is not helpful only for LRDS section or only for CAT. This is helpful for each and every examination, provided you start at a correct time. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है कि CAT November में है, you are studying for CAT in the month of October, then it will be very difficult for you to cope up for CAT. So this is the right time for the preparation of CAT. To start the preparation of CAT, you can enter the first step. For the next 1 month, you can just understand the basics, work on basics, and gradually start increasing the level of difficulty. All right. So friends, all the very best. Suyash is asking, sir, should a repeater approach be the same? Suyash, for a repeater, I can say that the first step, so don't spend entire 1 month on the first step. Okay, just keep moving forward as far as first step is concerned. Just look at the basics. So ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना कि हम repeater हैं, we think that our basics are well in place, but the basics were the only thing where we were lacking. So it's better to cross check if we are good in basics. So instead of spending one entire month, you can spend 15 to 20 days as far as basics are concerned. Okay, and you will be able to reach the last stage probably by the month of July. Okay, so you can reduce the timeline for the first 2 steps, but third and fourth steps are very important. So please don't reach to step number 3 directly. All right, Suyash. Now, any other student would like to ask anything about the approach that you are using, or any specific query that you have for the LRDI section of CAT, you can put it in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer your query. Now, in case you don't have any query and you are still in the session, and if you like the session, please do hit the like button. In this session, I have told you whatever strategy that you need to score 99 percentile. And definitely you will see me with many such sessions where I'll be also telling you how to prepare, how to solve questions when it comes to LRDS section. In case you are looking for like some knowledge sessions on data interpretation where you want to learn some tricks and techniques to solve data interpretation questions, then you can download the application of BYJU'S exam prep, where every Tuesday in one of the series that I'm running, which is called Tuesday's DI Mantra, you can find me discussing some of the wonderful sets and some of the concepts and calculation techniques that will help you in data interpretation. All right. Rishi saying, I have resigned from job. Oh my God, Rishi, please suggest how to schedule. So Rishi, exactly whatever I have told you. So your CAT 21 percentile was 95.38. So obviously, Rishi, you will be targeting 99 percentile if I'm not wrong. And you have also left the job. So it will be better for you to join some of the institutes in case you haven't joined it last time. Okay. Or if you think that all your basics are well in place, so it's better to approach this step-by-step technique and go with the same suggestion that I have given to Suyash. All right. Now, Suyash, you are talking about quantitative aptitude. So it is the similar way you need to approach. Now, in quant, there are lots of things to cover, percentages starting from arithmetic, algebra. So first of all, identify all your weak areas since you have already prepared once for CAT. So those who have already prepared once for CAT, in the next 5 days, try and identify your weak areas, and for the next 1 month work on your weak areas, be it from VARC, be it from LRDI, be it from QA. All right, so identify your weak areas in the next 3-4 days and start working on your weak areas first. So if you think that your weak area is reading comprehension, solve or practice 4 to 5 RC passages on daily basis. If you think that your weak area is logical reasoning only, okay, so it is better to practice 4 to 5 sets of logical reasoning starting today on alternate days. If you think that algebra is one thing that you don't understand, so start from basics of algebra, linear equations, quadratic equations, then jump on to polynomials, higher degree polynomials, functions, graphs, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Now LRDI is one area on which like you flundered. So it was 73 in LRDI, the lowest quant you have managed perfectly. So Rishi, I would suggest to go for this step-by-step approach. All right. And you will be able to get wonderful marks in this year's CAT. Right. Also, you need to focus on VARC as well. So in VARC, I understand people generally struggle in reading comprehensions because reading comprehension is the backbone, and reading comprehension, if you don't take interest, it will become the most boring area in your preparation. So please start taking interest towards reading. Reading is the most integral part when it comes to our examination. All right. So from day one, starting from today, make sure that you are spending at least 1.5 hours towards reading, and then after 15-20 days start also start practicing reading comprehension RC passages on daily basis. This is the only way you can improve your score in CAT. There is no shortcut for this. All right. So friends, that is all from my side. In case anyone who has taken CAT this year, the last year, and is looking for any wonderful GDPR program, so this is one program that we are offering at BYJU'S Exam Prep. All the details are there on the screen, and you can call at the below mentioned number to get some additional information about this. Also, if you want to enroll for any of the complete courses for CAT, so we are on the offering for batch number 5. So all the complete details are on your screen, and the number below you can call to fetch some more details. Rishi, talking about your your profile, it is amazing profile. Okay. Now, don't target any IIM. First of all, target 99.99 percentile. All right, Rishi. First of all, target a good percentile, and then IIMs will automatically target you. Okay, so you make yourself the target of IMs. Don't target any IM, just target a good percentile. All right, so friends, you can follow us on Facebook, subscribe and press the bell icon of YouTube, like our Facebook, and join our Telegram channel where you can get a chance to interact live with the faculty members. So thank you very much, friends, and the students who are preparing for CAT 2022. In this session, I have explained you each and everything that will help you in cracking LRDI section of CAT. Also, in case you have missed this, in case you are looking to practice some of the basic techniques, some of the basic calculation techniques for data interpretation, then you can download the application of BYJU'S Exam Prep, where you can find me on every Tuesday in Tuesday's DI Mantra, where I take up some data interpretation techniques to solve some basic level questions and calculation techniques. All the best to all of you. Thank you very much.